Manufacturing Lab. My name is Dan Griffith. We are here live from Hannover Messe 2023. I am here with Tomi. Let's go ahead and introduce him in just a minute. He is from Nokia. It is super exciting. He at least said he watched the show a couple of times.
Yes, I have done that.
Okay.
Thanks for the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
And thank you for inviting me to your show.
Oh, absolutely. I am always happy to have conversations, and it is a rare occasion that we get to do one of these live from kind of, as I would say in English, the mecca of manufacturing shows.
Yeah.
So you probably have heard over this week, I've had a lot of background and other noise. As I look at my watch, I think our baseline is like somewhere between 80 and 85 and so I will be honest, there have been a couple of times where I've gone to find a quiet place. I put my AirPods in my ears and I turned on noise canceling.
Yeah.
Almost quiet.
I understand. Yeah.
I had one of my friends from online, Jakob. I was in back. I was going to go take 5 minutes and have a drink yesterday, and he sends me a picture, and he's like, "I'm at the booth. Where is Dave?" And I'm like, "Well, I guess I'm not eating lunch today." So I got to meet a bunch of great people.
Yeah.
So I am super excited to be here. Today, Tomi and I are going to go ahead and jump in just a moment. I will say, if you guys are new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. We are on a completely different time schedule because we are 8 or 9 hours off of, I think we're only 6 hours off of the East Coast of the United States. We've gotten another East Coast United States messages already today. But we are fairly far off, so if you guys are here and you're in the chat, please feel free to go ahead and say hi. If you've got questions, please go ahead and let us know. We will do our very best to go ahead and answer those questions. Just before we kick off, I will again say thank you to Litmus for sponsoring this theme and also for putting together this amazing booth and giving us the opportunity to do a bunch of live content from them. Without further ado, everyone, welcome to Manufacturing Hub. My name is Dave. My co-host, Vlad Romanov, is not asleep because I've talked to him this morning, but he is not here in Europe with me. I am joined by Tomi Lahti.
Yes,
close?
that was correct.
Okay, that was correct.
Tomi Lahti. Yes.
That is the only time I will say his last name.
Yeah.
I promise to butcher it. I may be proven incorrect. But Tomi, you have come over earlier today. We had an amazing conversation as to kind of all of your experience. Would you mind telling everyone? Would you mind telling everyone at home kind of your background, your experience?
Yes, I would be glad. I've actually studied automation in university. My main subject was intelligent and learning control. But 2 decades ago, there wasn't this machine learning hype yet. So I ended to build a Nokia Symbian platform. Then after that was a decade for building great software in different roles. But then I was building e-learning platforms. And before joining to Nokia, I was actually in a Finnish refining company building OT digitalization software. So I was responsible as product manager for data historian, data analytics, ML pipeline, and AI advisor for process industries. And then now I'm continuing at Nokia, where I left from Neste. So currently we are onboarding industrial applications to our edge computing platform, going beyond connectivity, giving extra value for our end customers. That's what we are looking for with these applications. And then, of course, Litmus Edge is a great example of this kind of applications.
Absolutely. I will say, I think some of our listeners got the chance to watch our couple of Litmus Edge live builds that we were doing earlier this week. I know that we were a little quiet, or everything was a little jumbled during that, so we will do our very best to go give some more Litmus Edge information as we go later into the theme and beyond that. So kind of walking back to your career before Nokia, you said that you spent a number of years in Finnish refineries.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? And I will say, and I told Tomi as we were getting on, that we do our very best to bring on a variety of guests from a variety of different backgrounds. But I am pretty sure he is the first person from all of Scandinavia, I'm sorry, the first person from any of the Nordic countries, and absolutely the first person from Finland on the show. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that looks like? And I don't know if you've got experience
Yeah.
in other oil refineries. I would imagine it's colder there, and so there
Yes,
are more.
yeah, there is, of course, there is own challenges with that, but nothing too heavy. So I think that refining is basically same thing around the globe. Of course, the cold weather has its own characteristic for that, but I think also Russian and there is other cold environments like Canada, and so nothing very typical or special on that, I think. And otherwise, I think we all know that process industries and especially refining is quite traditional area, so it's quite hard to get things proceeding fastly, and that's one obstacle in there.
Absolutely.
And a lot of brownfield assets that need still be running. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I know you said that you were doing some AI. I know you said you were doing a lot of process historian and other applications. Was that, in your experience, normal for the refining in the part of the world you live, or is that more almost cutting edge?
I think it was very much cutting edge because I'm quite proud of that because when we launched our AI advisor to the world, a day a day before that we heard that our or the industry's biggest player was introducing its concepts on the same idea that we were already running in production.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And then, can I ask on some of those AI applications that you were working, were you finding large benefits? Were you getting increased throughput or reduced downtime? What
Yeah.
were you looking for? What was the reason why you were building?
Well, there was a numerous benefits that we were looking for, and I hope that since that I have left, they have been introducing those more. But of course, we had to start somewhere. So getting more output was the first production version. So optimizing the yield of production, and we did it for I think quite a typical crude oil distillator first, and yeah. But then after that, I think there was a huge amount of other benefits that we were looking for with this because we had also process simulators in our portfolio, and those were used for training the operators, of course. And there were quite great models, so first principle models behind of those. And we were, of course, planning then that we should combine the AI models and the first principles models, and use also build, for example, models for getting behavioral information from so how experienced operators are running the process, and try to get that data to model and then try to use it for training fresh operators. So a lot of ideas, and I think that portfolio was for many years, but we had to start from somewhere. So that was the reason we first introduced this advisor for crude oil distillation.
Interesting. I would like to point out one of our earlier episodes. I believe it was in the 60s. We had Alan Ray on. At that point, Alan was working for a midstream operator in California. They do something like 25% of the California oil and gas pumping. And so he also talked about different ways and different technologies that can be used to leverage that.
Yeah.
What I have found is that while oil and gas is very big, many gallons, many barrels, there are relatively thin margins. And so anytime you can make an extra 1 or 2 or 5% anywhere, that there's generally a good chance that you want to go after.
Yeah, what I learned is still is that uh, from my perspective, I thought I get the experience that maybe the bigger margins or bigger savings are more easier to get from, for example, other parts of the supply chain. But of course, we were concentrating to production, so that was our. But of course, you have to take close look for over the whole supply chain and integrate it as well as possible.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, another interesting part is that uh, this company that I was working is actually world's biggest renewable diesel producer.
Okay.
So that raw material comes from very little uh, sources, which must be combined, and there is a lot of integration and work in supply chain to get things work smoothly.
Absolutely. No. I think that is very interesting, and I'd like to slightly transition into a bit of what you're doing now, because I know
Yeah.
a lot about what you did has transitioned into what you're doing now with Nokia. So can you let all of us know what it is that you're doing now with Nokia?
Yes. So I joined to the mission critical industrial edge team about roughly a year ago, and it's part of the larger Nokia Digital Automation Cloud, which is providing customers private wireless connectivity, LTE and private 5G connectivity, and we have also Wi-Fi 6 in our portfolio, and there might be some other technologies coming also.
Ooh,
Yeah, who knows? But that's then I'm not concentrating on that connectivity part. I'm looking for beyond connectivity. So my role is this edge computing platform and how we can give customers value beyond that connectivity. So we are looking for applications that help our end customers solve their problems. And my responsibility, I'm a web scale product manager, so I'm looking for web scalers, Azure, Google Cloud, AWS capabilities that we can use on our platform. But then also I'm looking for, because of my background, I'm looking for these industrial connectors and looking how to build then intelligence on that platform, which is then easily connected to wireless or uh, wired environments.
no, I think that's very interesting. And I think you said that a lot of what you were doing with the refineries, it was good work, it was interesting work, but you found issue going and scaling some of those. And so that's
Yeah.
part of the reason why you made the transition over to Nokia.
Yes, and yeah, okay. There is lots of reasons behind that, but I can say that what I experienced and learned is that it's very important to pay attention to this scalability, transferability of the solution part, because what I've seen and what I think that the industry sees a lot is that there is easy to build some kind of proof of concept, get nice results from some asset or some plant quite fast and easily. But then if you then present these results to the management and they say that, hey, now we want to use this same technology also at our other plants. So then the problem starts. And I believe that for that we need solutions that can easily integrate to different data sources and build like an harmonized platform where you get the data in the same format based based wherever it is. So that's why I came to the Litmus booth.
Absolutely. No, I think think it's very interesting. We've had many conversations about scale this week at the Litmus booth. We've had a couple of conversations on this channel about that. I and Dave McMorrin from Litmus and Simon Floyd from Google, we all had a conversation up on the stage yesterday about scale, and we actually had an interesting conversation. And let me get your take
Yeah.
on this from you, right? So Dave McMorrin's comment is that there are kind of two types of scale. Right? There's vertical, so you can go up and down, either to additional facilities or to the cloud or to other places.
Yeah.
And then there's also horizontal, in which you can go add more machines, you can go add more lines, you can go kind of continue on that path. Is the vertical versus horizontal scaling something that you guys either at the refinery or at Nokia or you personally have considered? Or would you think about it? Would you think about scale as something different?
Well, I think it was how you can like copy and paste one solution from one plant to another plant.
Yes.
That's one aspect, of course. Then, well, there is many flavors on that, but of course, both horizontal and vertical are important. But I think that vertical one is that you first have to handle before you go to horizontal.
Yes.
That's what I think that is the common scenario.
And I guess from my perspective, working with not huge multinationals as you have been, is that most of the time we don't really consider how an application scales.
Yeah.
Right. So let's say we're looking for an application to solve something, and maybe we're looking for an additional 5% throughput. So we go and we do what we need to find the 5% throughput.
Yeah.
And we would, as I would say in English, we would hard code it, right?
Yeah.
We would have no thoughts on what will the next person do. We would just go through the process and just go.
Yeah.
We would write the code that needs to be.
Yeah, and
we would find the 5%, and then
exactly.
we would never think about it.
Yes, and I think that this is also a business model for many companies because it generates a lot of work.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you a question on that. Do you think
Yeah.
it's an intentional business model of they just want to go sell more and more hours, or do you think it's an unintentional business model? Of
I
we didn't
think,
have better
after
tools?
all, I think it's unintentional. Yeah,
Okay,
because
I
it.
would agree with that.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. I
Yeah.
agree. I feel like it is unintentional. And as we talk about how should we scale a company as an integrator, as a service provider, it almost exclusively becomes we need to hire more people.
Yeah.
And because we have to hire more people, then we need to sell more hours and we need
Yeah.
more work
Yeah.
because we don't think about putting templates or modules
Yeah.
or leveraging SDKs
yeah,
into going and building a generation.
and it's almost that it's. I think the industry is so used to it that we don't even think about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I guess as a follow up to that, Tomi, do you think the industry is going to change?
Yes, I believe it. Yeah, because they have to. We see many kind of problems related to these issues that we are not. We have a great promises of Industry 4.0 that it will be scalable. It will allow many kind of automation and things. But I think that truth is that if we don't tackle these certain things, that we don't get scalability, transferability, and these kind of things work properly, we are not achieving those greater targets.
I
Yeah,
agree.
and for that, what I believe and what I've understood is that we need standardization, we need APIs, so we need common information models or data structures that everyone in industry will share.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think we need the standardization. I think we need the data models.
Yeah.
I think that is what we need. But more than that, I feel like we need to change our mindset.
Yeah,
think it's
yeah,
a shift in mindset away of how can I do this job into the how can I go build something that is repeatable. And
yeah.
I feel like for many of these conversations, we can take away the phrase, the word scale, and just replace it with repeatability.
Yes, yes. Repeatability is great word for that. What I'm now talking about with scaling
Yes.
up things. So repeatability. Yeah,
Absolutely. So I spent a number of years working and running a systems integration company, and we would do the same thing over and over and over
yeah,
again, right? So
yeah,
someone is looking for an MES or they're
yeah,
looking for an OEE, and at some point after like the third or fourth one we did, Tony, I'm like, guys, why are we building the same thing
yeah,
over and over again? And so you can take that and you build it into custom code, you build it, you use an SDK, you build it into modules or
yeah,
something to get to the point of, hey, we can go and have 80, 90, 95% of the same solution. Go make a couple of tweaks and
yeah.
customizations on the back end.
Exactly.
And in my mind, that is the first step.
Yeah,
In my mind, that is the first step of where we need to
yeah,
go to find true scalability and repeatability.
exactly. Yeah. So I think that what I've understood and how I see is that, for example, in manufacturing, companies are seeing this because there is a big large supply chains, so there's chain vendors, and I think that if we want to see these kind of lot size one production, we have to have everything automated so that companies can very efficiently share information between them without deep integration projects. So that's why I believe that something like what here in Europe OPC Foundation is building, and then there is international data spaces which are building on that, and we will see many kind of integrations with then enable different parts of the whole picture, which I don't even understand, but I try to understand, because of course we are dealing again from my point of view, my perspective. We want to support our customers at edge and on-prem environment, but we have to eventually we have to talk to all kind of systems wherever in the world they are, to integrate the supply chains, and so we have to understand the whole picture, even that we are building the small part at the edge environment.
I agree with that. And I guess,
Yeah.
let me ask you, Tommy, is where do you think that change is going to be pushed from? Will it be pushed from like OPC UA Foundation? Will it be pushed from major multinationals? Will it be pushed from thought leaders like the ones here
I
this week?
That's tricky question. I don't have answer for this because if I had, I would go and ask them to do something
Yeah.
for it. But I think everyone has some kind of puzzle in this to play. So I believe that big companies should not notice, and I believe that they are noticing it, that it's eventually must have. And I think OPC Foundation, for example, is doing great job, but there is this puzzle is so complicated that it's quite hard to understand the whole picture. So some kind of some kind of easy way to told this whole picture we need some point, so that we can get the message through. Yeah,
I agree with that. I know you and I had a long conversation of will it be OPCUA Foundation? Will
yeah,
it be ISA with 95
yeah,
or maybe even 88 patents, right?
yeah,
But like, will it be one of these? And as much as my heart would like it to be one of these foundations, I don't know because we haven't had that force. And I guess from my perspective, I talk to many
yeah,
clients, right? I talk to many clients struggling with these same questions. And at the end of the day, I do not have good answers for them.
yeah,
And it hurts me that I do not have good answers
yeah.
for them.
Same for me. So I've used to look things from OPC perspective, OPC UA perspective, and been for example, been arranging the OPC Day Finland in our um, neighborhood. So I have some kind of special relationship to OPC UA and the foundation, but that's just what I've experienced, and maybe it's also that I don't see other parts from that reason. Also, no,
What
yeah,
I tell clients, what I tell customers, what I tell people I'm talking to about this is you have to pick what works for you and your organization,
yeah,
make an internal standard, and almost regardless of what that standard looks like, you have to go stick with that standard.
yeah,
And that is more important than which standard you follow.
yes,
I do not know what it will take to go have all of us go and commit to it the same standard. And it is, I would imagine it is frustrating for them because it is frustrating for me to tell them
yeah,
that there is no standard.
yeah,
I have developed like a pretty good hierarchy based upon previous projects that have seemed to work. But then to your point about hyperscalers, right, cloud services, every one of them has a slightly different flavor.
yeah,
Like Google is slightly different from AWS, which is slightly different from Microsoft, and then you've got OSI Soft Pi with their as a framework.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And so
exactly,
everyone has something a little bit different. So
yeah,
I suppose if you're going to standardize on something, either find a edge, find a data platform that can go speak all those languages,
yeah,
or standardize at the level that you are going to go use. But my issue with that is commitment, right? We are committing
yeah,
medium to long term for an extended period
yeah,
of time
exactly,
to that.
yeah,
And if we decide to go change, then not only are we going through the issue of I've got to go change all of my platforms and all of this, but we're also going through the issue of I've got to go change all of my data hierarchy.
yeah, yeah, yes. So how I see and how I think is that eventually, still we have to get the world to act together. That's almost like what we at Nokia say, that the world must act together. So uh, it's it has to lean on some kind of standard, which then is accepted by the most of the industry, and then maybe somebody have to then adapt itself. But of course, it has to come inside of the industry. Yeah, but what it is, what's the final standard? I don't know, but I prefer talking and using OPC UA because of my background. As I maybe mentioned that when I was a product manager for this OT digitalization software, we used the OPC UA in interfaces and in information modeling, and we saw a lot of benefits from it. So maintenance of the applications was much easier. For example, if I talk about KPI dashboards, um, it was we were talking internally that we were lucky that we take the extra effort to build the information model and using the standard, because otherwise it would be too tedious to maintain the KPI dashboard application.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No, and I said it before, I've said it again. I think OPCUA is a great communication platform and protocol. We talk a lot about MQTT on this show.
yeah,
So I think MQTT also does a good job. I think that there are many current generation
yeah,
platforms, both of those included. And we are almost blessed with many options, right?
yeah,
It wasn't that many years ago that it was OPCDA, right?
yeah,
And DH Plus and
yeah, yeah.
all of the different protocol ones.
And now, if I remember and have understood right, is that there is OPC UA over MQTT, at least coming.
Okay,
So this
interesting.
is
I have
yeah,
heard talk of OPCUA pub subs, so publish
yeah,
subscription,
yeah,
and and that solves some security and other concerns for some people on OPC.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like so many people have OPC UA servers, it just makes sense. Like, I am never going to go suggest to a client that they go rip out all of their servers.
Yes, definitely.
That
Yeah.
just does not make
Yeah.
sense.
Yes. What I think is good option in many cases is that you should get extra layer for over your existing hardware and systems where you have OPC UA interface, whether it's PubSub or a client server. Maybe PubSub nowadays because we are seeing the rise of event-driven architecture, so very natural selection. But don't rip off existing functionalities for the sake of that you want to replace them with some other system.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Tommy, let's go talk a little bit about Nokia. So we had
Yeah.
Stefan here earlier this week. We were chatting a bit about what you guys are doing. We were talking about wireless. We were talking about 5G. We were 4G and 5G. So we were talking about lots of things that you are putting your edge solutions on. So can you tell us a little bit more about what you're doing and how you're leveraging kind of that core Nokia Wi-Fi cellular background?
All right. Yes. Yes. I can describe it very shortly because I take it granted. It just works. It's coming for customers as a service, so that they don't have to take care of it. We have a Nokia Digital Automation Cloud, which is used for in this application, for example, maintenance and for downloading the applications, for example, to our edge environment. So it's easy to integrate. We have a tools to make the correct dimensioning and network architectures for customers, and of course specialists for that. And so for this, I'm sorry, but I have to be quite short in my talk that because I'm not the subject much expert on that.
No,
Yeah,
that's okay. I think that,
I take it as granted.
yes,
Yeah, it just works. Yeah,
I like that.
yeah,
As I get older, as I work with more different technologies, I always appreciate something that just works.
yeah.
Absolutely. So, with what you're doing, are you expecting? I mean, Nokia is here at Hannover Messe.
Yeah.
Right? Do you guys have a large number of industrial clients?
We have almost, I think, if I remember right, 600 customers with our private wireless connectivity and expanding portfolio for manufacturing. And currently, I'm working with projects for process industries. So we are extending, of course, and looking for new areas where we could deploy these private wireless networks and then go beyond with applications to give extra value for customers. And that's what we are doing. You may know that we have announced a partnership with with Kindrel and with yeah. So we are building together solution for end customer and using, for example, Litmus Edge on this. So that's what I do in daily basis currently.
Very exciting.
Yeah,
Very exciting.
and we are looking for especially process industries in this. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, is Nokia, are you deploying solutions worldwide? Is it mostly in Europe?
Yes, we are worldwide company. So wherever the plant or need or campus is, we are able to deploy. And we are also, of course, we are expanding our partner networks. So we are currently using more and more system integrator partners like InRelease and DXC, for example, in Europe is one of the big partners for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No,
So
no, I think that's very exciting. I've got to spend
yeah.
a little time in the Nokia booth. I hope to spend some more time in the Nokia booth.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is much Nokia in the booth.
Yeah.
More than I had initially expected. You just keep going back. I think at
Yeah.
least 30 or 40 feet.
Yeah, we are not anymore a phone company.
So I was talking to the guys about Nokia, and our comments is everyone remembers those Nokia.
Yeah.
In English, we would call them bricks. Like,
Yeah.
yes, the bricks.
Non-destroyable.
Not,
You can't
yes.
destroy it. Yeah.
I think I had an uncle who had one for like 9 years.
Yeah.
And we're like, why do you continue to wear this or use this? And he just says, because it just works.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what the next generation of Nokia products
Yeah.
looks like.
So this is what we are currently working on. So we are what I do and what our team does is that we are, as mentioned, we are looking for extra value beyond connectivity, and we are onboarding, expanding this partner ecosystem, onboarding different applications which helps then end customers and which our partners can then take benefit, and we build the actual solution, because in many cases still we are not on that point that customer could just deploy a software to the edge and then it would work, because the industrial environment is so heterogeneous, and we need still but we want to go that direction, that we get more automation in integration. So that's why I'm talking about information modeling, for example, and standard interfaces between applications, for example. And that's the reason.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I think that's interesting. I guess, Tommy, you've listened to a few shows, so I always like to talk about interesting applications.
Yeah.
I will preface this by saying I don't know if there are any public applications that you can talk about, but are there some interesting applications that you guys are looking at leveraging what Nokia has as a core to go help
Yeah.
users?
Of course, we want to listen carefully our end customers. So we are expecting also that end customers and our partners will tell us that what kind of applications are needed on that, and that's what we do a lot. But it's very hard to say just one. Of course, we see it. For example, video processing is very uh, important feature what is coming, and we see a lot of quality inspection theme is coming. But we already one application that we presently launched is ATOS for that is, but similar. So we are onboarding everything that brings intelligence or enables intelligence, like this Litmus Edge, and another application for that category is Crosser Node. So these are middle layer applications that can be easily used for refining information of the heterogeneous data at edge environment, and of course you know that, but then it can be fed or pushed to any place where needed. So right information to right people at right time is that what is like leading this. So it's what we try to achieve with this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I would agree with that. I think those are good points. We actually had a question here from a chief. They are saying, nice briefing on Industry 4.0 solutions. Thank you very much. They want to talk about dealing with field level data. How do we feed the data back into the digital factory scenario? I feel like that very much paired with what you were just saying.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk a little bit about how you can go ahead and connect
Well,
devices?
well, yeah. For example, in process industries, there is architectures for that. For example, Namur Noah is what we are looking for. But then one aspect is that if we use the data for and refine the value from it, we can, of course, we have a human always on the loop, especially if we talk about AI solutions. So I see that we should, when we have AI, we should keep it as an advisor to human. So human takes the final decision whether this is right or wrong, and then that's the feedback loop. That closes the feedback. And then one other important angle in that is that we can simultaneously use that for increasing the situational awareness of the human. because that increases safety. So that's like a win-win-win. We get many important aspects simultaneously when we keep human in the loop and use his judgment to make the decision.
Absolutely, I
Yeah.
would agree with that. Just kind of to add on to that, talking about bringing field level devices back, I find that there are always a couple of ways to do it. Right, we can take it into a more legacy controller,
Yeah.
or take those legacy controllers, attach them to something like a Nokia device. So we've got Wi-Fi, we've got cellular, so we can go ahead and push that to the cloud. We can go ahead and connect it to our SCADA or other system uh, within the network, but not having to be digital, not having to be connected by Ethernet. So that is a good way, and I deal with that especially in facilities who it is very expensive to run long runs of Ethernet cable, very expensive
Yeah.
to run long runs of power. Perhaps it's something like a refinery. I don't know if you saw it there, but like they've got many places, many remote places that it doesn't make sense to run power and Ethernet if you get away from
Yeah.
not running power. And
You are right. Yeah.
so I see a lot of that. And then also, secondarily, another interesting solution that I've seen is going and taking devices, be it sensors or otherwise, and going and just connecting them into a device. And once we've connected them into a device, like what you guys have on the Nokia side, we can just go send via Wi-Fi, via cellular, via whatever, that information again back to on-prem servers and or directly up into the cloud.
Yeah.
And I because it is Litmus Edge, and I know a little bit about Litmus Edge, I know that we can normalize that data to whatever the data modeling that we have.
Yeah.
To Ajit's next question that they had asked about digital twin assembly scenario, etc. I will say that because we did a live demo of it through the through the Litmus Edge, we are able to go ahead and leverage digital twin on the code scenarios so that we can go ahead and simulate that.
Yeah.
There is simulation. What I've learned at Jeep over the last couple of weeks is everyone has a slightly different version of what digital twin is, right?
Yeah.
For some of us, it's 100% simulation. We can go put on goggles and like walk through a digital three-dimensional factory. For others of us, if we can simulate the code, it's good. For most of us, it's somewhere in between. So it really depends upon the application
Yeah.
and the scenario when it comes to
Yes. And what I have been thinking about digital twin is that there might be a database model, there might be first principle model. We use those for simulation or building what if scenarios, and then you give a human operator, for example, extra information to support the decision making, that how I should run this asset, for example, now. So that's one kind of digital twin.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I think that's a fantastic question. Thank you, Ajit. I do want to again thank Litmus. If you guys weren't here earlier, Litmus is both sponsoring this theme in which we talk about delivering high impact solutions quickly. I don't know from Tomi's opinion if we can possibly deliver it more quickly than throwing it into a Nokia device through a Litmus Edge and then directly up into the cloud to make decisions.
Yeah, I think. Well, we are now building partnerships, so we have onboarded Litmus Edge, and we can use devices also on that. So why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No. I think that this is fantastic. Tomi, again, I appreciate your time so far. I do want to go, and I prepared him for this, ladies and gents. So I'm excited to see where this goes. Right. So I am asking everyone that I talk to at Hanover kind of what their predictions are for the future, and it is also one of those questions that I ask all of our guests on the show. So tell me, where do you think our industries are going to go in the next 2 or 3 years?
Well, in 2 or 3 years, yes, I believe that we are moving more and more to the edge. So of course, cloud stays there, but real time handling of the data and refining the information is going to edge. So cloud will stay for bigger initiatives and, for example, building the ML models and keeping the whole picture on hands. But then individual plant level things will what I think will go more and more to the on-prem environment and to edge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like for a number of years we were fighting to leave on-prem into the cloud, and it doesn't work, and it doesn't work exceptionally well. We've got some crazy music going on immediately. I don't know if you guys can hear that over the show, but we were pushing to get to cloud, and now like I feel like we've come through cloud, and now we've decided to come back to it.
Yeah.
I guess, in my opinion, I'm one of those crazy people that would consider PLC the edge, right? Like in my opinion, a PLC or a DCS controller has always been the edge.
Yeah,
We are now
that's
just
true.
bringing more.
Yeah.
So the edge is where we've always been.
Yeah.
Now we're just putting more computing processing, more controller, more ML capabilities
Yeah.
on the edge. And,
Yeah.
and to me, that just makes sense.
Yeah.
So I absolutely agree. We are going to stay on edge, and then we're going to find solutions to be able to go push it up to the cloud so that we can capture all of the benefits of AI and ML and
Yeah.
everything along those lines.
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect, thank you. And then Tony, next question for you is: we'd love some career advice. And then,
Yeah.
as I was saying, I will be interested to know kind of how much your experience in a very different place than most of our listeners will correlate to their experiences. But what have you done right? What have you maybe wished that you did differently in your career?
Well, I think that most important advice from me is that trust yourself. Yeah, that's because in my early days I didn't do that. So I was listening wrong advices, for example.
Yes.
But then I started to trust myself, and I saw the whole picture emerging from. So I've been now um, boldly going to that direction, and I'm here. So I think that it was a right decision to lean on. Well, this is to lean on commonly known standards. For example, don't try to invent a wheel again and again, and use the something that is known to work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I would say in English or maybe American, we've got the expression like trust your gut.
Yeah,
I
good.
feel like that very much.
Yes, my
applies.
English is not that natural, so I hope that you can still understand.
Absolutely. No, I think that this has been amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this one because I know where it's coming. But Tony, you know that I like to ask people for book or content recommendations.
Yeah.
And I think you've got a first for us in the book recommendation. So I'm going to let you go for it.
All right. Yes. Thanks, Dave. So I read a lot. I use whenever possible, and I like to read physical books. I like the touch and feel of the book. I look, of course, I read a lot of e-material too, but whenever possible, I like to read an actual book, and my recommendation is very well known Finnish writer Mika Valtari and his book Sinuhe Egyptiläinen, which is telling about ancient Egypt life and how the world was maybe 2,000-3,000 years ago.
I think that is very interesting. One, just to consider a Finnish author talking about Egyptian culture.
Yeah.
Because I imagine those cultures are maybe not polar opposites, but like in my mind, there's lots of snow and cold.
Yeah.
In Egypt, in my mind, there's lots of sand and not cold.
Yeah.
So that made me smile when you said it. So you get, and it also makes me smile because Vlad is going to have to attempt to go find the link on Amazon.
Okay,
in order to
great.
find that book
Yeah.
and put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
So good luck, Vlad. See, if he was here, he probably would have words for me, but he's not here. So
Yeah.
Good luck, Vlad, or good luck, ChatGPT, or whomever we're
Yeah.
using to attempt to go full interesting.
At one day, some chat GPT AI or some kind of that will listen our discussion and then contact to us and tell something maybe.
Yes, tell us how wrong we were.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. No. So tell me, this has been fantastic. Last question for you as we wrap up here is who should reach out to you? Who are you looking to connect with? Is Nokia looking for customers or partners or any of those?
Yeah,
things?
actually both and all. So we are partnering with especially my role is we are partnering with application developers, so looking for new startups and established companies to bring their well-known applications to our platform. And we are of course looking for customers and also partners in then who can build end user solutions, because more and more we are trusting to others to build the end user solution, and that's what we do more and more. Like example, this Kinril deal, what we are executing currently.
Absolutely. No, I think that's very exciting. Again, Tomi, thank you for coming in and chatting with us. Thank you, everyone.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. I
Yeah.
will ask people to like and subscribe, Tomi, because I found if I ask people to do that, then they do it, and it makes the numbers go up. So if you guys are listening in podcast format, please go rate us 5 stars where you can. Please hit the follow button so the podcast comes out on the normal Thursday that these comes out. If you guys are watching on LinkedIn, please connect with me. We weren't sure when we were going live, so I will make sure to go ahead and tag Tomi in this. Please follow Litmus and Noki. I will make sure all of those tags are in there as well. And we will catch everyone next Wednesday. I will be back in the East Coast. And so same time, same place as ever. Thank you all.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.